Hello.
Hi. Oh, you don't want to do the Indian welcoming?
No.
Okay, we thought he's going to do it with an Indian accent. Okay, we hope people are going to be joining us very soon because we're not going to be able to be here for a very long time. Until when? It's until
7:45 because we have another appointment at 8.
yeah. So
8 o'clock German time.
That's exactly like
half an hour.
I would say maximum half an hour. So we know that some people are like they are wanting to join. So we are waiting. What are we talking about until? What was the main topic that we had in the German live stream?
Oh, and there were lots of different
so
topics.
Many. It was not like one that was dominant or something.
No. But I think
maybe let's take the one that we just read that we didn't get to in the German live stream.
Yeah, basically it was a question from a person asking what Miri thinks about those ads on social media, mostly on Instagram, about recovery programs. Usually on the ads you can see very young and I guess probably also very fit looking women advertising recovery programs, and if this is something you should do or not.
Yeah, so but the first question would be like which ads exactly, because I'm not sure if I was shown these ads yet. Like there's the typical like don't stop dieting and find food freedom kind of courses. Is that what you mean, or is there like actual ED recovery influencers advertising their program? Like I really don't know which type.
Let's say it's a specific course for eating disorder recovery.
Yeah, well, it really depends on the content, because we too have been thinking about and are thinking about like long term about creating some type of course or program where you can really find like where you can find basically everything that helped me truly recover. But if the program is made up of information like, okay, here's what you should eat, here's what you should not eat, then it's basically not doing recovery. Yeah, it's just someone telling you from the outside what you should do and not. And that's basically, it's very interesting because what you see in my videos now, like what I ate a year ago, especially in the video that you're going to see today, which I'm going to upload after this live stream, or going to publish after this live stream. Didn't get to it yet today. Then yeah, I'm also talking about the fact that I was so still seeking for answers in programs of people that I looked up to, like of people that I thought, well, they have it together. They're eating plant-based, they're vegan, but they seem so relaxed around food, and like I can learn so much from them, and I just don't know what to do, and I know I need to change something, and I know I should not, like I know I have to drop the calorie counting, for example, or I know it's not good for me to weigh my food. I know this is eating this, like this is disordered, and I know I should be able to eat processed food as well without fear and all of this stuff, but still looking for something that my eating disorder approved of. And yeah, basically said, well, yeah, okay, we can try that. We trust this person. And then at least we have someone to tell us what we need to do and what we're allowed to eat, like what's a good choice to eat and what is not. And that's basically a sign that you're not recovering. You're still trying to rely on an outward resource which will never be able to tell you what exactly your body needs. And I was not at that point to admit that or to see that or to accept that at that point in time 1 year ago, because I was still hope I felt I had this urge to have some rules and some regulation and some kind of guideline that I can cling and hold on to, so I feel safe still. So I can keep on telling myself, I'm never hungry, I am not restricting, it's an abundant lifestyle, and I can be vegan, and as long as I don't track calories and don't weigh my food, everything is just fine. But still, if I had been brutally honest with myself, I knew, well, I still have this rule of I can only eat that and not this, or at least I should not eat that but this, or these are my 2 cents to this.
Yeah, I'm maybe to add, because
actually, Pseudonym, she actually
posted the question again.
here.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Thank you. I hope you.
I really want to add, because if the programs which are advertised should not contain any food suggestions, let's say they say eat whatever you want, which is a good thing, but then they promote like highly sportive activities and so on, then it's probably also not a real thing to do.
Yeah, that's something that I really have a problem with, and I also talk a lot about in my videos, as you guys know. There's such a big movement of from eating disorder to my ripped strength training self, and now recovered. And these are people claiming they're promoting abundance, eating as much as you want, but then many times it has to be as whole food as possible. But then they're claiming eat whatever you want, don't be so strict. But all the time, while also really still very 100% controlling how their body looks by obsessing. They would probably not admit that they are obsessing about it, but still they are shaping their body because they would probably not bear just eating that without doing that kind of exercise and without continuing to control their body and physique. And it's just, I kind of just can't believe it, because when you think about it, it's so obvious that it's going from one obsession to the other. It's still body focused, still someone telling you what's best to do.
I mean, in general, advice is always like telling you what's best to do.
Yes. And I mean, also if we made a product or a program at some point in time in the future, then of course that's also advice where I say, well, I would recommend to do that instead of that or something, but not in terms of food and movement, like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically what the eating disorder feeds off of rules and regulations and restrictions around food and exercise. And so how can this be a real recovery, and how could this possibly lead to full recovery when you go that way? I think it's just your sign of quasi recovery if you're still looking for, or if you're still thinking, well, this program might help me possibly. How about you just make the program that your body's telling you all the time, and your brain, like your healthy brain, your mental hunger. Yeah, it's just, you. In my case, it was like I was trying to still find a safer feeling or seeming way to go to get to full recovery, but I only got to the point where I knew I have to drop it all. I wish I had done it sooner, but there's no way around it. Also, that this kind of eating as healthy as possible, but then eating like just only whole foods or something, and then eating as much as I want, no tracking calories and no weighing food. Well, by that you're trying to minimize the weight gain, right? And by that you have the feeling you can trust your body more. And I don't believe that your body is going to gain less weight if you, I mean, so it's still restricting, and in the long term you're not going to win with that. You're just going to delay the actual thing that you're going to have to do. Right? But I mean, calories are exactly what your body needs to actually get to full recovery, to actually lose the fear of weight gain. If you do it by eating as healthy as possible and as whole food as possible, then you're just not rewiring your brain. You're just basically going to gain weight nonetheless, and it has to happen. It's a good thing, but rewiring doesn't really take place. So it's not a win at all.
And Tina is kind of concluding, so recovery is based on self-awareness and self-confidence, right? And I would say no. That's just my thought. I would say it's not based on it. It's based on eating and not moving or not doing sports. But it also takes a lot of self-awareness, or needs a lot of self-awareness and self-confidence to do so.
Yes, I would say so as well. You don't need to be very self-aware or very at all, and also not self-confident in order to recover. Because I did not have that when I started it. And most of who I know of and who I looked up to, who are fully recovered now, they also didn't have that in the beginning. And they just did it. They just made it happen. And it's, I think, just something that you that's why this approach of the migration theory helped me so much, that Tabitha Farrar is talking about. And because you guys are understanding English, I suppose that some of you also know her channel. If not, I recommend it. Go there and watch it. It's something, when you understand the theory behind it and it makes so much sense, and you understand that you are not the only one struggling with this, and it's actually a famine defense mechanism, something that you have in your genetics. Not everyone has that. Not everyone has anorexia genetics, but if you have it, that is activated by an energy deficit, and you reverse that by eating and resting. And when you understand that that is the cause of the so-called mental disease, which it also is a mental disease, but not as a cause, not primarily, not originally, then you can actually fight and get rid of this eating disorder in the long term by doing the opposite of what got you there, and doing the opposite of the fears. And so in the end, that's a really good news, that you don't have to be self-confident and very confident in this whole thing, but you just need to do it. You don't have to want to gain weight. You just need to make it happen in order to get to lose the fear around it. And you do that by rewiring your brain, and by that you do by doing the opposite of the eating disorder. That's just I can only recommend Tabitha Farrar's book about it, which for you guys, if you speak English, I recommend her original book, which I translate into German right now. Okay. Dürfen wir dich wieder genießen?
Yes. I'm back. Yay! Next one.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe I just want to say to Tina, I'm not sure if she, maybe you're talking about a different kind of recovery. Right now, or here on this channel, I'm usually talking about eating disorder recovery, or specifically restrictive eating disorder recovery, or anorexia recovery, but many people don't identify as that because they're not aware that what they are experiencing is basically in principle the exact same. But yeah, okay.
So
Lily, nice to
Christ.
see you here as well.
Hi, just a general question. Would you prefer us not texting you privately on Instagram? I was just wondering because I haven't heard back from you and don't want to annoy you.
No, I love getting your messages there. And I know that you have written me, and yeah, I just say it how it is. It's a lot by now, but I really try to get back to everyone. But I'm sorry, I have not gotten back to you yet, but I will. I'm very sorry for that, and it's not because I said, well, this one is not so important or something. So for everyone, you're really welcome to text me, and it's it's really I do this from my heart, and yeah, I do my best. And don't feel discouraged if I don't text straight away. It does not mean that I am annoyed at all. Yes.
And the next question, also from Lily Christ. How did people in your church react when you were in a state of serious malnutrition, when you were in quasi recovery and stuck in orthorexic behavior, and when you finally entered all in recovery and started gaining weight? I'm wondering because I was most scared of how people at my church will react to my weight gain.
Very interesting question. I mean, I cannot speak for everyone, but I would suppose, and you can also join in if you want. I would suppose that most of the people were not aware that I was in malnutrition when I was in quasi recovery. I think most of them would think that's just how I am, and I'm quite fine. Like, and how would they really know?
Let me quickly interrupt you because I think she was asking for 3 different states. Like the first one, serious malnutrition, then quasi recovery, and then the all-in recovery.
Okay.
And yeah, then you have to like expand a little bit.
Because so like serious malnutrition,
that was when you were a teenager, and that was not in the church we are in now.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I wasn't really like in severe, like I wasn't in severe malnutrition the past years, like, or in general, the only time I was in severe malnutrition, or like, how can you define it? I mean, I was in malnutrition, but not in a way that you could see it from the outside. Like there was no one actually think.
In the past few years, yeah.
Yes.
But I think she also is asking, how was it back then as a teenager?
Okay.
When you were extremely underweight?
Okay. Yeah, well, if you mean that, that's when I was 13, 14, and they were very worried, like very worried.
It was
when I was
obvious because
confirmation. Konfirmation. Like
I don't know.
It's kind of like a Konfirmation. I think you're a German, so you know exactly what I mean. And there were a lot of photos and stuff, and people.
It's confirmation.
Oh, okay, confirmation. Okay.
Yeah.
They were worried. You could see it. Like I did not look well, and also I can clearly see that when I see these photos now, and also like for 20 years I could see that after I had gained weight, and I was in a much more stable place. Like I was weight restored and normal weight, but mentally, I never got to the recovery that I had hoped. And I made this video about eating disorder treatment made it worse. So if you're interested about that, you can search my channel for that and watch that one. I talk a lot about this there. And so fast forward to kind of the last years where I was in quasi recovery, and I would just in general say nobody, like,
Nobody knew.
yeah, everybody just thought I was fine.
Because
yeah.
there was a different church now. So different
Yes.
people, they didn't know about your past. Well,
Mhm.
a few people knew, like good friends, they knew, but like the general
Yeah.
church did not know.
And also back then, when I was 13, and then I was in eating disorder treatment, and then I had gained the weight, and then pretty much everyone was like, "Oh, you look so fine again," like
She's eating again.
Exactly. It's like the normal thing, and everyone kind of got used to it, and everyone just took a deep breath, and everything's well again. And I mean, I now I understand, like, how could they even understand, like, if you have never informed yourself very much about it, that's basically how you think about it. And but it was always in a very positive way. Like, no one ever meant it in a negative way, like, oh, you gained weight. No, like, it was really very, very grateful and glad to see me with healthy weight again. Yes. And so nowadays, so far, like, there was no obvious reaction about me having gained weight in comparison to 1 year ago or something, or 1.5 year ago. Like, ever since I recovered, yeah, that's basically it. I think people notice, and what people do know, because we have a lot of friends there in church, they do know, and maybe they also see it, but it could very well mean that basically not as many people actually notice that you gained weight. It's not like that thing in your brain, right? And also, what quite some friends of us know is that we are doing this work here on YouTube, and some of them watch a little bit of that or recommend it to friends. And they're really very supportive and encouraging in that, and let me know that I act or no, not act, but behave in a different way. Like, for example, talking or something is a little bit more like of a different energy around what I do, be it videos or anything else. Like, I'm just basically, I would say they indirectly let me know that I'm much more fun now. I guess that's compliment. Yeah. And I think, like, nobody told me, but I'm pretty sure that friends and people from church, they just they notice, oh, she kind of has she puts more time or invests more time into, like, meeting, or in, like, she's just more present. Because
So Lily Christ is continuing. Yes, I'm interested in all three phases. Okay, that's good. Since my church witnessed me to go into malnutrition and prayed a lot for me, but still I feel like most people are not well educated when it comes to EDs, and therefore I'm scared of their reactions and comments when they see that I am better now.
Yes.
And I think that's absolutely true, that most people are not well educated when it comes to EDs. So
yes,
educate them.
yes, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, I hate to say it, but that's exactly what my book is for. Like, that's exactly what we are doing the hard translation work for, to not only educate those who have a restrictive eating disorder, but those who know someone who has a restrictive eating disorder, and they are wondering, like, how can we help, and what's actually helping.
On one thing which is really helping, and that brings me to the comment of Tina, because she says, I do not understand the urge to comment on somebody's body. That's not acceptable to me in no scenario. I'm in no way underweight, but if I get comments about my weight so often, very ridiculous. And that's one thing which I also had to learn, because I was one of those people who had no clue about eating disorders. And I also thought it's like, back then I thought it's like a mental thing. Yeah, you have some trauma and it needs to be treated by a psychologist.
And how did you think about it when you knew I have this past? I think
Yeah, I thought it's over now. Your normal body weight, and
yeah,
that's
I mean,
it.
yeah.
But then
Yeah.
progressing onwards, I realized, okay, there's more into it. It's not just about eating and looking healthy. And I also had to learn to, and I at some point decided, okay, I will not make any comment to somebody about their body weight, because you just don't know what's going on inside of them. And I can make my own comment in here, so I can think, okay, but I'm not, or I'm trying not to judge.
Yeah, and also it does you well not to judge, because now you know it doesn't, like, their outward appearance doesn't say anything about their health.
Yeah.
Like, maybe they're not overweight because they're eating too many crisps. Maybe it's because they
Are American and eating too many
no
fries.
no you know what I want to say.
Yeah.
Like, metabolic stuff, which can also be really caused by dieting history, and it's like, it's not a discipline thing or something. It's just something that's driving me crazy.
Yeah.
Because that's basically how people think about it, and that's also something that was hard for me to overcome, to basically accept that there's always going to be people who are going to think that I let myself go, and that I used to be disciplined and now am not anymore, and the opposite is the case. Like, I know I could lose weight anytime if I want to, and if I, it's just something that's something that my eating disorder always told me, this is what we're good at. But it's not going to happen, and that's not a sign of lack of discipline. It's quite the contrary. It's actually, my discipline is now in recovering. That's and that's something people just don't know about. And just in general, the focus on the outward appearance is just far too crazily gone beyond any, I don't even know
any
word.
right hand things over there.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. No, but I completely relate with what you're saying, Tina. Okay, one last one. Okay.
Yeah, it's just another comment by Tina. Maybe it's
Okay.
because they have PCOS. And let's face it.
Yes, exactly.
A human does not define itself with the body, but with the soul. Yeah,
exactly.
That's so true.
Yes.
But sadly, in the world, people define themselves with body, with wealth,
Exactly.
money, and all this stuff.
And yeah, and that's also something that my eating disorder also like to bring on. And that is, well, yes, but we can have both. Of course, you don't only want to be a pretty face or a pretty body. Yeah, but both. Just have both. And it's like, how about not? Yeah, basically, the biggest weight that you can lose in your life is the weight of the opinion of other people. I really love that saying. And then also, real confidence does not come from the approval of other people. It actually comes from you within, when other people are disapproving of you. Right? And I mean, I like these so much because I personally had to struggle with this a lot, but that's basically how it is. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Keeping an eye on the time.
Yes.
Because we have to really leave in time.
Today, because we still have a meeting.
Yep. We will then close it. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, please don't forget to give the thumbs up if this helped. And we're really glad that we had someone joining today, because last time was a mess.
Last time I had to tell a very,
really
very
bad joke. Oh, gosh. Goodbye. Yeah. Thank you for also hopping over here. Really glad about it.
See you next time.
See you, Lily, Pseudo, and Tina.
And David.
I see you anyway.
Ciao.
Ciao.